So what we're going to talk about today. I was speaking with a Christian friend today, and oh man, we talked about so many different things, and talked about hell. They strongly believe there was a hell. There has to be a hell. Um, People like Hitler. There needs to be a place for people like that. Though, you know, though we all fall short, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Right? None are worse. None are better. Mm. But I gave my analogy that I've given before on this channel about hell, because hell was one of the first things I dealt with on my path of uh, deconversion, changing. And I asked, and I told them, no Christian could answer this or give a suffice, reasonable answer. And the analogy goes like this. Um, for the Christian who believes in a literal hell, eternal torment, you'll be hanging out with Satan for thousands and thousands of years, and all his little demons are going to torment you, and whatever kind of imagery you want to, gather about hell. All that imagery from, Dante's fire and stuff. So you bump. But you should really look into the word hell and get the original meanings, the Greek, the Hebrew, even though there's no hell in the Old Testament. There's no mention, no word hell. You may get the grave, that's as close as you're going to get. The hole in the earth, maybe, the underworld, underneath the earth. But no hell, no burning fire, none of that in the Old Testament. But I'll go with it here, since most Christians do believe in this, and been brainwashed with the meme from Dante's fire a couple hundred years ago. Whatever's been passed down. So, we have 7 billion people in the world. Now let's suppose we have 7 children. Let's take 7 children, each child representing 1 billion people. One of those children representing the Christians of the world, because there's about 1 billion or so different of those who profess to be Christian, of 30,000 different denominations, pointing their finger at each other. Who's the real Christian? But let's just say there's 1 billion chosen people out there that are saved, because Jesus Christ, right, is the only way to get to heaven. The scriptures quoted, "Oh, I am the way, the truth, and the life. None come to the Father but by me." So you need to believe in Jesus to go to heaven. Everyone else is damned. So you are a parent to be, and let's say you have the foreknowledge, as the knowledge is as the God you as a Christian suppose has, is all-knowing, all-powerful, knows the beginning and the end, knows the end of the book, knows the end of the story, knows the outcome. Okay? So you have this foreknowledge. And you're going to have 7 children. But only one is going to be saved. The other 6 are going to eternal damnation. This hell that you preach. You have this foreknowledge, this ability to see what the choices are going to be made, right? This is what Christians, this is what people profess about God, their God. Would you still have those children? Would you still have those children knowing that only one out of the 7 will make it? I've used this analogy before, so yeah, we talk about this. And I guess they thought they can, since I told them that nobody's ever been able to answer the question sufficiently. Because it's kind of a trick question. So they tell me, yes, I would have these children. I'm like, really? I'm surprised. I'm surprised to hear that from you. Being a parent who loves their children that they do have. I'm surprised. Why? Because that would mean that you're very selfish. Sadistic, really. Because here I'll have these children so I can enjoy them for the time that I have them. How much time is that? I mean, if an average lifespan is 70-something years, and you as a parent are not going to live that long and see the whole length of the average person. So let's see, on the average, 40 years you get to enjoy them. 50 years. I mean, even if you had a child at 16, okay, maybe 70 years. I'll give you 1,000. It's nothing compared to what we're talking about, eternity. It's a tiny bit of time. So you'll have that child for that tiny little bit of time, despite knowing that they're going to be in this torment, hell. Can you Christians see the sickness of that? Can you see that this is what you're proposing is how your God acts? Oh, he has that right to do that. Because he's God. He can do anything he wants. Oh. Really? Really? You're going to worship this type of God? Is this type of God, someone you would worship? You wouldn't even hang out with a person like that. That had that way of thinking, right? Who acted in such a way. Who was a hypocrite. Yeah, I give you commandments, don't kill. I tell you I love you. I have forgiveness. I keep no record of wrong, because that's love, right? I love my children. Yeah, but I made most of them, 6 out of 7 of them, just to burn in a fire, torment. I created them knowing ahead of time they're going to choose that path. So, yeah, why not? We'll have... Really, that's sick. Think about it. Now, if you would tell me, no, I would not have that child, I would not have those children, and guess what? You are more loving and compassionate than the God you are preaching. According to the beliefs, already out there, I believe in a creator source. I believe that A source can encompass good and evil. No, Christian can't have that. They have to have the boogeyman, Satan. They have to have this battle, this universal battle going on. You know. So this belief in hell, this belief in a boogeyman is is childish. It's childish, and most who buy into it um, will probably die that way, die as children. Mm. You know, you have to crawl before you walk, and you have to walk before you fly. And I think religion is for those caught in between the crawling and the walking kind of thing. And it took me long enough. It definitely took me long enough. It took me 40 years of my life before I decided I don't want to just crawl or walk anymore. It's time to grow up. It's time to get real. It's time to accept. It's time to accept the pain that everything you've been taught is wrong. It's not reasonable. It doesn't make sense. It's not even just. When you have no proof of it, just what you read in a book or what's been interpreted to you, these memes that have been brought down through the ages about this hell. We can give the excuses for people in the past, you know. You know, they didn't have computers, no newspapers, no radio, no TV. Illiteracy rates in a lot of places very high. So they easily accepted the things that were said by people who, you know, appeared to have some kind of authority, or did have some kind of authority given to them by either a church or a government. Gotta keep the people in line. Gotta have control over them. So it's easy to control dumb people, right? Simple-minded ones who haven't learned to think of it for themselves. Oh, this is not to insult them. No, this is just the way it is. It's a process, an evolution that humankind's gone through. But yet, even through the printing press and the freedom, at least in the United States, to spread knowledge, right? To libraries and newspapers and books, the printing press, right? And here we are up to the internet, and yet, such large amounts of people still believe some of these mythologies are literally true. It's painful. Painful to admit the truth and move on. It means letting go of the security blanket, right? Or perhaps maybe it means your occupation if you're a pastor or minister. Maybe it'll mean your reputation in your community. God forbid you should say you cannot believe this myth, this hell. Perhaps it means being casted out from your family and friends. Yeah, there's a price to pay. I paid a price. Maybe not the largest sum, but paid a price, lost some friends. But you make new ones. One door closes, another door opens. But we gotta stop being children. Hell is for children. Religion is for children. Oh, it might be nice to be children and act like children and be playful, simple, not so corrupted, innocent, yes. But once you start, I mean, you wouldn't, all the fables you've been taught as a child, all the little fairy tales, right? Santa Claus. You don't believe in Santa Claus anymore, right? I hope not. It's children. Santa Claus is like the God thing, right? He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake.